Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all students. My name is Dr. Arni Abdul Ghani and I am your facilitator for this topic. This is the concept of Siyaahah in Islam. In this topic, I hope that I can provide you with the important and comprehensive information about Islamic tourism or Siyaahah. Basically, we will go into what is tourism in Islam, what are the guidelines on tourism in Islam, and how can we develop Islamic tourism. Siyaahah or travel and tourism may mean many things, but in a modern usage, it is limited to a few meanings, which indicate moving about in a land to look for things, to research, to learn, and so on, but not to earn money, to work, or to settle. But when we discuss about tourism from the point of Islamic Sharia, we must look at some of the important categories. Islam came to change many distorted concepts that are held by imperfect minds. Once upon a time, Siyaahah was connected to the concept of self-punishment, where forcing someone to travel as a part of shunning this world. Islam abolished this negativity concept of Siyaahah. Islam came to elevate the concept of it by connecting it with the great and noble aims such as Siyaahah as a journey for connect to worship Allah, for knowledge learning, to learn lessons as a form of da'wah, and to ponder on Allah creation. We will discuss each of these further in the next slides. Travel is enjoined in order to perform one of the pillars of Islam, namely Hajj during certain months and Umrah, which is prescribed throughout the year. Both of these righteous journey is made to the house of Allah or Kaabah in Mecca, and visits is also extended to the Madinah. Prophet ﷺ said that Siyaahah of his ummah is jihad for the sake of Allah. Hence, this state meaning that a journey made for worship to Allah is encouraged in Sharia and a great and noble aim. In Islamic tourism, this is referred as religious travel, where one travels because of fulfilling obligations to God. Mecca and Madinah, being the holiest states for Muslims, has received millions of pilgrimages each year. These pilgrimage journeys generated significant revenues for businesses offering services for pilgrims in both cities. In Islamic worldview, Siyaahah also connect to knowledge and learning. The greatest journey were undertaken at the beginning of Islam with the aim to seek and spread knowledge. In early Islamic civilization, the culture of seeking knowledge and traveling for the sake of it is done with people sacrifice most of the things they had. They were ready to go to the distance, both literally and metaphorically. There is a concept in Islam called Rihlah fi Talab al-Ilm, which means travel in search of knowledge. This is very unique to Islamic civilization. People followed the advice of Prophet ﷺ and wanted to secure the benefits of travel for knowledge. In today's tourism industry, there is a tourism product called edutourism, which refers to travel for educational purposes. This is where individuals visit places to learn about a particular skills, culture, activity, and so on. Education tourism can take many forms such as study abroad, cultural exchange, volunteer work, and many more. However, for Islamic tourism, this educational tourism must be planned and developed in line with the Sharia law and instill good and beneficial knowledge or skills to learn. Another aim of Siyaahah in Islam is to learn lessons and receive reminders. This command has actually appeared in several places in the Quran. In Surah Al-An'am, Allah said, "Travel in the land and see what was the end of those who rejected truth." Muslim is encouraged to travel as a means of spiritual growth and self-reflection, where travel can provide opportunities to experience and see other cultures, to see and reflect on certain passages from the Quran and Hadith, and to stay focused on faith and values. For Islamic tourism, visiting historical Islamic sites can provide experiences and learning about Muslim communities and deepen understanding of Islamic history and culture. In one of the hadith narrated by Abdullah bin Umar, Prophet ﷺ said, Muslim cannot enter places where there were history Allah has punished, unless we are saddened by what had happened and pray that Allah will not befall us with what befall them. Therefore, it is not encouraged to go to these places, especially the ones have mentioned in the Quran. But there is an exception to the rule, as Allah has told that He has left clear signs as an evidence for people to see. Therefore, based on that, many scholars have stated that if one wishes to visit, it must be with a good cause, to increase fear to Allah, to reflect, to weep, to take admonition from destructions that befell to those people, and to turn to Allah in remembrance and humility. Maybe the greatest aim of Siyaahah is to call to Allah and to convey mankind what Prophet ﷺ teach us. This is the mission of the messengers and prophet and their companions after them. The companions of Prophet ﷺ spread throughout the world, teach goodness and calling them to the message of truth. Spreading da'wah and tourism can be part of an activity to enhance spiritual experience for Muslim travelers. This can be integrated through guided tours with da'i or Islamic religious experts, where there can be a session on Islamic history, culture and practices uniquely at that particular destination. A community engagement can also be part of da'wah during a visit to probably during interaction with local community. Mosque tourism is a product currently gaining popularity in Malaysia, where guests visit mosques, participate in congregational prayers, learn activity, take classes at the mosque, and also as a way to appreciate Islamic architectures. Siyaahah in Islam also includes traveling to ponder the wonders of Allah's creation and to enjoy the beauty of this great universe. So this will help to develop strong faith in the oneness of Allah and will help one to fulfill obligations of life. Further, traveling can be a way for people to seek relaxation and a stimuli to work harder after that. Traveling to ponder on Allah's creation can be a life-changing experience. Many people visit places with breathtaking natural beauty to seek spiritual enlightenment, to gain deeper understanding of God's power, and often reflected in the awe-inspiring landscape and wonders of the world. When traveling, however, a Muslim must remember that they travel for the sake of Allah, and all action and activity must be performed in a manner prescribed by the Quran and the Sunnah. This requirement will ensure that every action is a halal one that will benefit not only the doer but others too. We will now delve into the guidelines for travel and tourism in Islam. Islamic Sharia has brought a number of rulings that regulate Siyaahah so that it will achieve the aims mentioned previously, and so that it will not overstep the mark or become a source of evil. Firstly, it is prohibited to travel to perform Umrah or Hajj in other places except to Mecca, and it was mentioned that Muslims must take opportunity to go to the three holiest mosques that are Masjid al-Haram, Masjid Nabawi and Masjid al-Aqsa. In Islam, it is prohibited to visit places and perform religious rituals to seek blessing of the place, like visit tombs and asking for blessing from the dead. Apart from that, Muslim is not encouraged to visit kafir land for no valid reasons. But scholars have stated that it is permissible to go for business, trade, knowledge, and so on. This restriction is due to the fear that the visit may pose danger to one's faith, morals, behavior, and ethics. Islam also forbids tourism in places where activities such as gambling and drinking alcohol and immoral actions takes place. Islamic tourism should only take place in destinations that promote Islamic values. Another point is what I have described earlier about visiting places which has befallen with Allah's punishment. If we ever has to cross over this place, we need to hasten our move and also reflect on what had happened and pray to Allah for mercy. Lastly, for women, the travel restrictions nowadays vary across countries and cultures. In some nations like Saudi Arabia, women is required to travel with mahram, while other Muslim countries do not have such a ruling. However, according to Shariah, a woman must travel with mahram. This is because travel can be exhausting and require hardship, so it is always good for women to have a family with her. Moreover, if women travel alone, there is a high chances of she being approached by bad people or tempted to do evil or haram things. It is believed a mahram can protect a woman from all those. Women can travel with another woman or in a group of trusted women companion, especially if there is a problem to have mahram, and usually this is allowed to perform compulsory pilgrimage to Mecca. As a conclusion, Siyaahah in Islam is permissible so long it is aligned with the teaching and values of the religion. While we do acknowledge that many travel and tourism products today may pose risk, encourage sin and so on, we also have established that the religion teaches us, as a Muslim, we ought to make good and beneficial trips for valid reasons, as I have presented earlier. In terms of tourist destination, government should ensure that attraction for Islamic tourism must generally according to Islamic regulation. For example, it is obligatory for destination management to ensure provision of prayer facilities so that Muslims can fulfill their obligation. Second, to ensure attractions free from illicit food and drinks, not just giving a halal label on product and leave illegal product to remain. Other than that, to ensure attraction are not places to do sordid areas of adultery. Government must not allow the door of immorality through the tourism sector. Another point is to practice responsible tourism, like adopting sustainable practices. This is also in line with the teaching of Islam, that is to do things in balance and to avoid waste. And lastly, it is important that the journey made is for the purpose of spiritual enhancement. Hence, Islamic tourism core is always to use tourism as a mechanism to promote better understanding of Islam and worship Allah as the creator of the world. With that, I end our topic today. Thank you.